everybody, and welcome to episode 23 of Around the Kingdom, a Disney Magic Kingdoms podcast by a guy who likes the voodoo that you do. Coming to you from the Shadow Realm, I'm your host, Steve Squirrel, and this week, returning from a way too long hiatus from the show, let's give a big welcome back to AGeekyChick.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you to each and every one of you for joining us this week, and to you too, AGeekyChick, as we explore the wonderful world of Disney Magic Kingdoms. Before I get started, I want to give a big shout out to our Patreons, Carrie Schumann, Anita Anderson, Kathy Clausen, Honeybee, and Kira. Thank you so much for your continued support. We are already over halfway to our first show goal, so if you want to help support the show, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/AroundTheKingdom. If you want to be more involved with the show, you can go to our Facebook group or follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and now YouTube. It's a good way to stay in touch with me and the community of the show. The links to everything will be in the show notes and can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. The kingdom is always changing, so for reference, this show is being recorded on Wednesday, March 6th at around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alright, intros are out of the way. AGeekyChick, what have you been doing this week in the kingdom?
Well, the Avi is working on the event. I haven't done too much outside of that besides stocking up on magic. I have 3.4 million now, so I feel confident enough to welcome Michael Darling. I've been waiting until I had enough magic. I'm going to do that after I get all the characters for the event, but I'll welcome him. And then I've also been sending, Davy Jones, out, or Barbosa? One of those two out to get the pirate fabric.
Yeah, that's Davy Jones. He's the fabric man.
Yes, and I have 16. Yay!
Yeah, awesome.
Mm-hmm. But that's it, besides event stuff.
So how much is Michael Darling to welcome?
Isn't he almost like a half a million? He's a lot.
I don't know. Shere Khan is who I'm waiting on. He's like 800,000, something ridiculous. He's a big one. I'm still waiting to hold off on him until the event is over. I might even wait a little bit longer. It depends. We'll have to see on that. But he's waiting, and then Wendy Darling is still in the on deck circle for me. I'm still gonna hold off for them for a little bit until we kind of get an idea of what's going on, because I have so much other things to do, lots of leveling to do, and there's also that 3 million magic plot of land that I'm kind of keeping my eye on. So we'll have to see how that goes. For my week in the kingdom, it was a pretty quiet week outside of the event. I really didn't do anything. I don't feel like I did any side quests or anything. You know, I did some leveling. Charlotte, Tiana were, of course, being leveled because they needed to kind of go up in level. But I was also working on the usual suspects that I was kind of focusing on for this event, which was Belle, Snow White, Piglet, Felix. I leveled all of them up, got them up at least one level each. And then Baymax and Elizabeth Swan and Sully are all now 10. I put the 3 of them out for the last 3 days just to kind of make sure that I didn't have any token conflicts going into our next welcoming, which we'll be talking about shortly. Other than that, the only other exciting thing for me was I finally spent the 10 days to work towards an amber chest for my daily login streak. Last time I did it, I got Hook's stand, which I was super excited about. And this time I got a turkey legs concession. Wah, wah. Yeah, the elixir concession, they should call it. Unfortunately, turkey legs are not for me. I love them when I'm in the parks, but it doesn't really fit too well in my park. So that was my excitement for the week outside of the event. So that is it for me. And the other thing to mention is my lifetime visitors board. I'm at rank 132,296. So I'm closing in on the 125,000 mark pretty soon. Maybe in I'd say 2 more weeks I should get it. So keep our fingers crossed and see how long it takes me to get there. All right, so that's our weeks in the kingdom. Outside of the event, we'll have lots to talk about in just a few minutes. But AGeekyChick, it's time for the newcomer tip of the week. What do you have for us today?
Well, with it being only like less than a week until the event is over, I say pacing is key. And I also feel like you need to be like, as a new person, like be honest with yourself and look at how much time is left. Look at the wiki. See, you can, the wiki shows where you can see the hours that the event, like each quest is going to take, to see if you actually have enough time to realistically finish. And if you don't, this is a good time to just save up the event currency. If you're not going to be able to get any more characters, save up event currency because they get converted into gems. So if you're a free-to-play player, this is a really good chance. I think you can get up to 40 gems by saving up for, it's like 80,000 event currency, I believe, equals 40 gems. And then I would say also now, if you don't think you're going to get any other characters, you can start working on leveling up characters for any future tower challenges or events.
Yes, that's all really, really sound advice. Just kind of know where you're at, what are you going to be doing, and have realistic expectations. Don't try to, do too much. Try to focus on what you can do.
Like don't go spend a bunch of gems speeding up things and not actually getting the drops that you need, and don't panic and make mistakes.
Yeah. Or don't be like me and level up someone to 10 at the beginning of the event and then have to spend 54 gems to correct that mistake either. Yikes. All right. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, AGeekyChick. That is awesome advice. And thanks. So let's now move on into game news. All right. So, Chapter 3 of the Princess and the Frog event has begun. Where we left off last week, we are now welcoming Tiana. Tiana unlocked right at the beginning of this chapter. She required the gumbo, like everyone else, but she also needed the beignet tokens, which were rare, and her ears, which were epic. And I'll tell you that they were not such the easy drops. They weren't the hardest drops in the world, but they were not the easiest drops in the world. This definitely took me a long time to do the initial welcome. How did you fare on welcoming Tiana?
It took me a couple of days. I got the beignet tokens, but it was the ears. I was, and the quests were a little bit longer for that, so that was also kind of disappointing if you didn't get the drop, but it just took me a couple of days. It wasn't too long compared to past events. Her being like the second to last character to welcome. I wasn't like too blown away by how long it took. It was only only a couple of days.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the last couple of characters were very quick welcomes. Even Chapter 2 started out with just like a 1-day welcome. So you kind of had to know that the pacing was going to slow it down just a little bit. And it definitely did. I think she took me almost 2 full days to get the ears. And, probably it could take people even longer, depending on pacing. Some people are still working on getting her. It was definitely a harder one to get, but it was well worth it. I love having Tiana in the kingdom and seeing her in her dress running around. Have you been waiting a long time to get her in your kingdom? Are you super stoked? We haven't had a chance to talk about your thoughts on the event so far. So,
oh yes, I'm so excited. Like I really, really wanted this story or character set in the game. I think I was looking at my videos. I think 5 months ago or 6 months ago, I did a video of like 5 character sets, and even my thumbnail is a picture of Tiana. So I've been really excited for this. So I was happy. I was logging in. I think right around the time to welcome her was also the trophy, the second round for the trophy. So I'm like out with my family. I'm like setting alarm clocks on my phone. I'm logging in every hour, every 2 hours. And I'm like, look, I'm trying to get Tiana. So it was a big deal.
Awesome. Yeah, I was super excited. My daughter was really excited to welcome her. She kept saying, she's like, is it time? Is it time? Because that meant to me like she wanted to check to see if like she could click the characters to get ears to drop. Because let me tell you, Squirrely has much better luck at drops than I do. You know, she clicks on the thing, ears just start flying out of nowhere. You know, she's definitely got some lucky fingers. So I'm very happy to share that with her, and she was super excited to welcome her, and she was even just as excited to welcome Charlotte. The Charlotte was also released at the same time. She is a premium character. She was available in a bundle for Charlotte plus 2,500 EC for $5.99 US, or you could just get Charlotte alone for 300 gems. So we welcomed Charlotte right away, right at the beginning of the chapter. And what did you do, AGeekyChick? Did you buy a bundle? Did you get her with gems? Did you just let Charlotte sit there, and did you not get her? What did you do?
Oh my gosh, you know I didn't do that. I bought the bundle for the event currency, and there was another bundle just to get event currency. It was like in like gems or something, right? It's like I did that. Whatever it was, I spent a lot of money.
Yes.
I bought both bundles that were offered to me. One for Charlotte with some event currency, and then another one, event currency and like 40 gems. I just didn't want my problem to be event currency as we got later in the event, you know?
Yeah, sure. No, yes, it was the even bigger event currency bundle that you purchased, that I call it, which was 100 gems plus 5,000 EC. Okay, and that was $4.99 US. And I usually say it at the end of the show, but while we're talking about it, now the bigger than even bigger EC bundle is available. That's what I like to call it. It's 250 gems plus 15,000 event currency for $9.99. So that's available in the shop through the end of the event. If you need to be bigger than even bigger for this event. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I actually welcome Charlotte with gems. I've been stockpiling gems lately, so I just kind of want to use them. So yeah, I bought it with gems. I thought it was a good price, so I got her there. I was super excited to welcome her into the kingdom. I love seeing her running around and doing all the different tasks, and it makes a huge difference with having her, because her and Prince Naveen can do the 2-hour quest to get token drops, as opposed to 4 and 6 hour. But
yes, that was so helpful.
Yeah, but that's how it always is with premium characters. They're always going to give you that time and speed advantage for drops. So Charlotte was a big help with that. So, all right.
She's also a big help. Well, I guess you'll talk about it, but with the shadows.
Yeah. We will get into that in just a moment. But after you welcome Charlotte and Tiana, when you welcomed Tiana, you had to get her then to level 2. And when you did, you were able to build Mama Odie's tree. Mama Odie's tree was 14,000 event currency, and it was a 4-hour build time. So, I love this attraction. It looks so awesome. I really love the design, the artwork. I think they did a great job with this. The amount of event currency didn't seem bad. As far as like having to spend event currency, I feel like, it seemed like people could easily be on pace and have this event currency. It didn't feel like a scramble. This tree could have this attraction could have easily been 20,000. And I feel like it was in other events. We'll talk about the pacing and how easy this event seemed later, but I think that there was a very fair price, and the build time was quick. I feel like 4 hours is a very fast build time for an attraction. Usually you expect 8, for something like this, even maybe 12. So 4 hours seemed super fast to me. So what do you think about this?
No, I agree. I know in past events, I felt like there were a lot of roadblocks, like things that were put in our way just to slow us down. And I felt like that wasn't there. So everybody could just go at a good pace, Yeah. I got the tree. And I'm doing good currency. I have 40,000 event currency right now.
Well, you got the bigger than even bigger bundle, that's for sure. Actually, no, you didn't get that one. You just got the even bigger. So, okay. But yeah.
I got, yeah, whatever one that opened up right with Charlotte is, I don't know, it was some bundle. I just saw a bundle and I bought.
But yeah, no, I love it. It was a really cool, quick build time. So after you got that, and it was all built, there were a bunch of quests that needed to be done. And once you did them, we then went into something that I was a little nervous about when I first saw it, which were the shadow spirits. Dr. Facilier has some friends who are preventing you from getting at him, and those are the shadow spirits, and you needed to banish 5. Now, what you needed to... Basically, the way this worked was the same as the battle bots. Yes, or at the catch the crabs. So you needed to collect items, and then when you collected the items, you could then send someone to basically destroy or fight one of the creatures. In this case, you needed 2 lanterns, which were uncommon, which makes that a lot easier for drops. And there were lots of people that could get it. There wasn't just 1 or 2 people. You know, there was quite a handful of ways to get lanterns. And then you also needed 1 lotus flower, which was rare. Yeah, there was a lot of people, again, who could get the lotus flowers. So it didn't feel too bad. It actually, I think, went pretty quick. So I wasn't... I was nervous that we were going to have BattleBots Part 2, and this was really, really going to slow people down, and I feel like that didn't happen. I didn't hear anyone complaining about Shadow Spirits or being slowed down or Lotus Flower drops. I felt like this was a pretty smooth sailing as far as that goes. Would you agree?
I agree. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I was nervous because... You know, when you see other people saying, like, where they're at, and I was a little bit behind, so I'm like, oh, my gosh, I need to hurry. You know, I feel like I need to rush to that point. But once I got to the shadow spirits and the things were just dropping, I'm like, oh, it's not bad. The quests were a little bit long for them, but you were getting the drop, so it wasn't, like, as bad. You know, long quest, but at least you're most likely getting the drop. So that went by really quick.
Yeah.
And I was happy.
Yeah, it went pretty good, you know, for me too. I only needed 2. I needed 2 in the morning, and I had everyone out. So I had like, I think like 7 possible ways to get it between people or buildings or whatever. I needed 2, and of course, out of all of them, 1 dropped. So I had to wait 4 more hours to get the next one. But that's all right. I was excited to do that. And then once you banished these evil shadow spirits, you had some dialogue and a really, really awesome cutscene.
Yes.
Really, really, really well done. I loved it. You know, check out, actually Daniel Gizar has posted in several groups the video of it. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out on Facebook. It's really cool. And then you get to battle Dr. Facilier. And so...
I love that, the battle stage, right? And so much is going on. It's so cool. I love it. And the music.
Yes. Well, tell me, why don't you tell everyone about the battle stage?
What do you want me to tell you? Well, it's just like, I mean, always you have everybody like fighting. They got those little, what are they, masks? The little demon things coming down, and it's so cute. I love when Tiana just pushes it away, like comes on there, and I don't know, it's so cute. Mama Odie's fighting, even Eudora. Yep. I love it. Like if you find the storyline, how she just kind of was like, "I'm gonna help you guys," you know, like she just. I don't know, like they were so nervous about telling her, and then she's just like, she just takes it like a pro, like, okay, changes to a frog, fighting demons, shadow men, I'm here to help, I love it.
She doesn't really get phased very easily, that's for sure.
No.
But yes, the Dr. Facilier battle was awesome. The way that you did it was you sent each of your characters out. It was a 2-hour activity, and each time you completed the activity, you got credit for 1 battle. You needed 12 battles to defeat him. you were able to send all 6 characters from the Princess and the Frog at one time. So really, you could complete it, 6 in 2 hours, and then another 6 in another 2 hours. So you would technically, if you had all the characters, you could complete the entire battle in 4 hours, which is very quick. Much quicker than I would have thought. When you do the battles,
even with the banishing the spirits, with it only needing 5, and then this only needing 2 rounds if you have everybody.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be much longer. When you look at the fights, like the Mother Gothel fight and the Zerg fight, and the Shere Khan fight, and when you look at all the different battles throughout the game, they're long. At this point in the event, with how much time there was left, I was still expecting it to be long. And it wasn't, which was a really pleasant surprise. So you were able to send them out. The animations in the battle scene, like you said, were fantastic. It is so fun to look at that and watch all 6 people going at it at once. There's some great videos up in our Facebook group, so join our Facebook group, check it out. We have videos of the battle scenes going on. It's just a really, really awesome, really well done, really well animated time, and it's fun. This is the climax of the entire event. Where everything comes together and forms the pinnacle of what's meant to be happening, and they did a really great job of that.
Yeah.
So then the battle is over. And you're like, all right, the battle's over. But no! The battle is not over. He says, ha ha ha. I have more shadow spirits for you to battle and to banish. So, Shadow Spirits Part 2. Same drill. You needed to get rid of 5, 2 lanterns each, 1 lotus flower each. Same quests, same tasks. So it's just a repeat. Didn't feel like it took so long. Felt, the pacing felt the same. And then when that was over, another battle with Dr. Facilier, round 2. So just when you thought it wasn't taking too long, they broke it up into different pieces. So instead of banishing 10 shadow spirits and feeling like you were there for a while and kind of getting frustrated with shadow spirits, or battling Dr. Facilier and having to tick him 24 times, they broke it up into 2 sections. They made some awesome dialogue around it. And I think it was a good way to take something that would have originally been consuming, a certain period of time and breaking it up into segments and making it feel better. That's the one thing I like to talk about on the game is how does it make you feel as a player? That's something I always focused on a lot in the other podcast that I did about Hearthstone is we would talk about how does the player feel when certain interactions happen or whatever. And that's what I think I try to focus on in this podcast as well. And this makes you feel better because you're having more storyline. You're having more fun and breaking up the monotony. Would you agree with that? What's your thoughts on how they facilitated this here?
Yeah, I agree. It makes you feel like you're progressing, like you're not stuck, even if it's the same amount, just being divided it up, getting the little dialogue in between. You just feel like you're still moving forward. Or sometimes, like you said, if you were sitting there having to collect 10 and you're having to do all that, you just feel stuck and it kind of makes you panicky. But here you're like, oh, I finished that. I'm moving on.
Yep. I completely agree. And yeah, I think that this is a good note to take for the future and how events really should be run, to kind of break things up like this so that it just feels better. It feels like you said, like you're progressing. The little bit of extra dialogue in between was fun. It was kind of an unexpected twist. And even this old school battle is kind of something they brought back that they hadn't done in a while. So changing things up, really makes it feel good. And there's nothing about this event really that's felt bad, from any perspective. So yeah. All right. So that is it. So after the second battle, I'm sorry, is there anything else you want to talk about up till now? Anything you want to throw in?
No, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm 13 minutes from finishing the second battle. So I'm done.
Yeah. So once you finish that, no spoiler here. 13 minutes spoiler alert. There are no quests between the end of that battle and then the Welcome Dr. Facilier quest, task, event quest. And that unlocks Friday. Friday at New Day time. I'd like to know what they call that. What's the official name for like when the new day begins? You know, when at 10 a.m. Eastern, when like the next day in the game begins. I want to know what they call that. That's what I'd like to know. But all right. So when the new day begins on Friday, that's when Dr. Facilier will be available. You will have 4 days and 3 hours. 4 days and 3 hours to get 9 fabrics for Tiana's costume, which we'll talk about momentarily. 4 days to welcome him, and then the remainder of that time to get some fabrics. So let's move on into talking about some fabrics. Tiana's comfy costume unlocked, and it unlocked with a bundle as well. So you were able to get Tiana's comfy costume and 40 gems for $4.99. So that became available. It became available midway through this chapter, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You know, it was just kind of interesting. I have to say, like, because it wasn't available right at the beginning when Tiana unlocked, but they didn't wait all the way until chapter 5, or chapter 4, which is interesting because, again, the feeling good and the pacing are the things that we've been talking about in this event and how it's felt good. And what have people been most complaining about? And I don't want to say complaining, but more what didn't feel good, right? Since we're talking about what feels good and what didn't, is having the last character and the comfy costume unlock at the very end, and then rushing to do both of them at the same time, right?
Yeah, it's always hectic and.
It feels like it feels like that final stretch is just like chaos, and so they decided to unlock it early and allow you to get the items or most of the items ahead of time, or to just purchase the bundle, which I know a lot of people did. They just said, I just don't want to be bothered. I just want to kind of chill, and I will take the bundle. So, did you get the comfy costume yet, or are you going to try to collect it out?
I haven't bought the bundle yet, and then I was going to kind of see, but I'm probably, I think I'm going to buy the bundle because I want to time it. I have a Tiana, the comfy costume, like I have that outfit. And so I want to dress up and everything for the video when I get her. So I'll probably buy it so I can do it all like on my time for the video.
Okay, that's awesome. And make sure that you let us all know because we want to see you in the costume. There's nothing like some awesome Tiana cosplay that will make Disney Magic Kingdoms fans happy. So yes. So that's breaking news. That right? That's breaking news right here. So. Make sure you check out AGeekyChick at AGeekyChick on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, so you can see everywhere, so you can see when she does that. I have not got it yet. I am the kind of person that kind of will wait till like the final hour. I really feel pretty confident that I'll get it. I've been working on the glitched fabrics already. I feel like that won't be a problem to have those collected. It's really going to be how fast can you welcome Facilier, because the reason we're talking about this is he is the only one who can collect her comfy fabric. She needs 9.
That's crazy.
So you need to welcome Dr. Facilier, and then once he's welcomed, we don't know if he'll be able to start collecting at level 1, or possibly you'll have to wait till level 2, because that's happened before. I think with Vanellope and with other characters, you've had to get them to 2 before you could start collecting the comfy fabric. I wouldn't be surprised if you needed to get him to 2. And then once he's ready to go, he has to collect 9 fabrics by himself. But you only need they're 1 hour quests, 1 hour. So it's not like Cricky where you had to send him out and it was 4 hours long.
That was crazy.
It was frustrating. So they're 1 hour increments to get the fabrics. So I think that, 9.
That 1 hour makes it sound doable.
It makes it sound doable, but you got to think that. I mean, Facilier's got to take it. You only have 4 days total, right? Facilier's got to take at least a day to welcome. I mean, if not 2. So it's gonna be a mad dash at the end. But we'll see.
Great. I mean, I feel like the hour that you might be working on Facilier for 3 days, because the hour quest, for 9. So that's like with good drops, you can do that in a day.
They're legendary, though. That's not good drops. We're talking about rare or uncommon drops. They're legendary drops.
Yeah. I'm going to buy the bundle.
Yeah, we will see what happens.
And there might be a bundle for Dr. Facilier because he has a concession stand also that hat.
Yes, that
hasn't come out yet.
Actually, it was available, like you were able to see it somewhere in one of the screens, and it said, it said it not available. It was unlocking when Dr. Facilier unlocked. So yes, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Dr. Facilier bundle, but they've always done bundles at the end for the final character as well.
The villain usually always gets one.
Yeah, so probably Facilier plus the stand, probably for $7.99 US, something like that. But yeah, so we will see. Stay tuned because we will have an answer for what happens next week. But of course, follow me on Twitter at ATK Podcast, Facebook, and join our Facebook group. And obviously, you will stay tuned with what I and the rest of the group are doing and how we've progressed. All right, so. The comfy costume, as we mentioned, is 10 Tiana ears, 15 glitch fabric, which is only 3 people are able to go on, plus the dressing room. And their quests are 2, 4, and 8 hours. But again, the glitch fabric is uncommon, so it's pretty much dropping every time. So that's not really what anyone's stressing about. All right. So So that's it for Princess and the Frog event news. AGeekyChick, what do you have to say wrapping up this chapter and your thoughts on the event so far?
Well, I'm enjoying it. I was just going to read off my levels that I had everyone at right now. I have Prince Naveen at 6, Tiana at 2, Eudora at 6, Charlotte at 1, Lewis at 3, Mama Odie at 4. I was able to get the trophy, and I got the gumbo stand. I have the soda, whatever that green drink. Basically, I got all the stuff that you could get from the whatever those chests were that they were. I don't even know the name of the chest right now.
Yeah, the radiant chests.
There's so many. I don't know how.
I cannot get the green cream soda stand to drop for anything. It will
Are you gonna buy them? I didn't buy it. I just did the 25 gems a day. I was telling my viewers, I feel like a 1 a day, it's a vitamin, but it's a good way to get you addicted to opening them. So now, even though there's the bundle you can buy, I was I gotta go open my 1 a day.
Yeah.
But so I got all of that. So I was excited. So I just wanted to say that.
I got that. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's exactly where you want to be. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. I think that's awesome. The green cream soda stand, I spent 25 a day. It was a fantastic idea of theirs to do it like that. And no, every day I failed miserably. I think.
But you have everything else, huh?
I sank 300 gems into trying to get a green cream soda stand. Makes me very sad. No, I'm not going to buy the bundle. You want to know why? Because Tiana's ears are epic, right? So the guaranteed epic that you'd get out of there is not the green cream soda stand. If it was, maybe I'd spend the $5 and just be like, fine, I'm done with this. But
I
but I'm
wouldn't
not
take that chance.
I'm not going to spend $5 to get Tiana's ears. I've already gone on a rant. The only thing that I don't like about this event is the fact that they have these radiant chests with tokens in them. I'm not pleased about that. But yeah, so that's why I'm not going to buy the bundle. That is.
No, yeah. I wouldn't take a chance.
Nope. Someone in my group said that they got theirs and it took them 3 bundles to buy, and that's just not okay. Not okay for me.
I mean, I feel extremely lucky then, because yeah.
Yep. So anyway, that is it for chapter 3. Chapter 4 starts Friday, so we will talk all about it and wrap up the Princess and the Frog event next week on the show. Next week's show will be Tuesday, and I do have a special guest who I will talk about at the end of the show. All right, so other news. The famous Chinese hackers. I don't think there's ever been an episode that we don't talk about them. But the famous Chinese hackers have leaked the calendar for March. So we have the event calendar, and it's been accurate every single month that they've ever done it. So I'm not doubting the content here. So the first thing I want to mention, as always, is on the 17th, in 11 days from now. That is the 3rd anniversary concession stand, only available that day. So make sure you log in that day. Then, so between now and the end of the event and for the next couple of days and blah, 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 blah. There's some regular old login rewards. However, on the 21st of the month, a ruby chest appears on the calendar, which usually means one thing. A new something is starting. So by looking at it and thinking about what the timing is, it is speculated, and people are kind of under the assumption that a tower challenge will be beginning on or around the 21st of the month. So that gives us just a couple of days. I mean, today is the 6th. Friday, Dr. Facilier opens. So we'll have 4 days. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So you'll have like 9 days, maybe 10 days between the events. So not much breathing time there. So what do you think? Do you think that we're going to get a tower challenge? And if so, what do you think the content's going to be?
I don't know. Actually, I looked at it. I've heard what everybody's saying. I mean, most likely probably will be a tower challenge unless they spring up something new, but that's just kind of been the pattern. I don't know what it could be. Like, I don't know. Yeah. What people said, is Dumbo coming out? Somebody wanted something with Dumbo. Somebody said Aladdin. Usually when it's a tower challenge, they're adding a character to a set. It's usually not something brand new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it doesn't feel like a permanent content update. It doesn't feel like a big event. So I don't know. I'd love to see permanent content added, but I don't think they would do a ruby chest for permanent content.
No.
It feels, especially, and if you look at it too, the other thing that kind of points to this is that a few days later, on the 26th, there's a radiant chest. And radiant chests are usually like rewards for mini events. Well, actually, during tower challenges, mini events don't exist because your mini events are... that's interesting when you think about it, because the mini events are just the leaderboard type things, you know? Mm-hmm. So I wonder why a radiant chest would be there on the 26th.
Maybe fabric? I'm thinking like fabric. Usually we see those a lot in those kind of chests, right? The ruby chests.
Yeah, so, right, and then...
if costume is being added.
Right, and then if you look at the 31st, then there's a ruby chest on the 31st, which is just 5 days later. So, and in 5 days is typically... so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, so if tower challenges are they're 5 day chapters.
Yeah.
And so the 21st would be you get the ruby chest. 5 days later on the 26th is a radiant chest, and 5 days later on the 31st is a ruby chest. So, I'm sorry, 21st is a magical chest. Excuse me, it's not a ruby chest, it's a magical chest. But yeah, so that seems like Tower Challenge pacing, if you look at that. And just, something Tower Challenge related. Also, something to point out is that on the 29th, the throne that is there, what is that, the elephant throne? That is an Aladdin decoration. And so people are definitely speculating that Aladdin will be a helper for this Tower Challenge, most likely in the second chapter. So one of the things to point out is that you might want to start leveling up your Aladdin characters if you have them. That might be something you want to do when you can. So that's all the speculation we have. Again, and nothing is confirmed here except for that obviously on the 17th is the concession stand that everyone gets. But that's what's coming up. That's all the information we have. So we'll see what there is to do. And my suggestion is work on your Aladdin characters. Anything else you want to add, GeekyChick, before we move on?
No, I mean, I don't even know what it's going to be. I'm horrible at these guessing games.
Yeah.
I mean, when there's... Ask me when they start teasing.
Yeah, nothing... See, that. Now, here's the thing. We got to look. Like, have they teased anything? We got to look back and see, like, were there secret clues that we haven't seen yet?
Because that's what they've been doing lately.
They've been doing that
right there.
They've been doing that a lot lately. So... that's my challenge to you is to all you listeners and watchers. Can you find something? Is there something out there? But all right. So what else happened in the news? There was a chance to win 250 gems. Disney Magic Kingdoms put up a video of gems falling into Gumbo. And then coming out, and the question was, how many gems are left in the Gumbo? And then if you answered the question correctly, you had a chance to win 250 gems. Good luck to everyone who entered. And that's it for the game news. So that's it. We will have lots more information. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Facebook so you can stay up to date with all the latest and greatest breaking news. All right, now we're going to move on into the event of the week. We had 3 going on this week due to timing. The first was Better Be Wary. Better Be Wary. This was the first time it happened, and it's with the giant Heffalump balloons. It is a tapper. It started on the 27th of February and ended on the 1st of March. It was 2 days long. And the Heffalump balloons spawned in a group of 10 every 4 hours for a total of 120. And yeah, they were huge. These are not clouds. No. There were Radiant chests you could win. Ranked 1 through 5 got 3 Radiant chests and some EC. 6 through 50 got 2 Radiant chests. And then ranked 51 through 600 got a Radiant chest and some EC as well. I finished rank 3. I was tapping. What about you, GeekyChick? Did you do good in this one?
This is the first round. Yeah, I did really well. I think I was in the top 50 maybe, or maybe this is the one where like somebody somehow like at the last minute I got bumped down to the top 150.
Well, that would be a big bummer.
Yeah, but it was just EC and Radiant chest, so I already have everything. So for the Radiant chest, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I really like it. I like tappers. I feel like they're fair to everyone. Which is something that's important to me, and yeah, I did good, and I love the fact that they're giant Heffalump balloons. It makes it easy for people to do this event, and they're pretty cool to look at. So yeah,
Okay, I took a screenshot. I was 24.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, awesome. So yeah, it was a fun new event, and I was happy about that. Anything else you got to mention about the giant heffalump balloons?
No, I just love them bouncing around. Sometimes I don't even want to tap them. They're so cute.
So when that was over, we had our obvious little break, and then we went back right into a striking gold event. Striking gold number 55 started on the 2nd of March and ended on the 4th, lasting 2 days. And ranks 1 through 10 got 3,000 EC, the Princess and the Frog Gold Trophy, and 20 gems. 11 through 50 got 2,500 EC and the Princess and the Frog Gold Trophy. And then there was just some EC for the ranks below that. So, I had already gotten the trophy previously. So I just kind of took it easy. I decided that I wasn't going to kind of go too crazy with this because I just needed a little break from events. Did you already have the trophy? What did you do with this?
No, I didn't. The first time, I just messed up the first time that they did the trophy. So this next time, like I told you, I mentioned earlier, like I was setting alarms through the day and I was logging in, but I enjoy my sleep. So even though during the day I'd be like, top 5, top 10, I'd go to sleep and people are crazy and they don't sleep. So I ended it at 21 and I'm okay because I got my trophy and that was, the main thing I needed.
Yeah, no, I definitely kind of go. I definitely wait. Like again, there's a lot of strategy around waiting, and not going in right away, and so that's what I did the first go around. I waited probably about 4 to 6 hours, which is really hard to do, because you're just trying to like tap everything, but waiting is really good. But once I get far enough along, I know that I have like a really good buffer, like I just want to rank top 50. Getting top 10 and like not sleeping for 20 gems, like I'd rather sleep, and pay the $2, or actually it's 20 gems is worth about $1. So I'd rather get that. So, yeah, but I'm glad I got my trophy. I think it's awesome. And congratulations to you for getting it and finishing.
Yay. Yes.
So, if you didn't have enough of the heffalump balloons, they're back.
Yes, they are.
Starting yesterday and then ending tomorrow, Better Be Wary Part 2 is out with the heffalump balloons. Same deal as last time, in groups of 10 every 4 hours. Same things, radiant chests. Maybe I will get the green cream sundae soda stand, but we will have to see on that.
Are you in a good place?
I actually waited a whole day to start.
Oh, okay.
So it started yesterday at New Day time, and which is 10 a.m. Eastern for me, and I didn't start until this morning at 7 a.m. So I waited almost a full day, and yeah, I'm doing okay. Let's see. I'll look right now. I'm in 5th place with 40.
Oh yeah.
With 40. So I've only tapped 4 times. It's been a little over 12 hours since I started, but I'm in 5th place. So it's not it's not bad. So I just gotta stick with it. But yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully I get some chests. Hopefully I get the green cream soda because these chests hate me. All right, let's move on. We're going to move on into There's No Place Like Home. Instead of Is It Worth It, this week we're going to wrap up my segment called There's No Place Like Home, which is kind of like Is It Worth It, but for sending characters home. This is where I'm going to discuss how sending home characters is changing how I play Disney Magic Kingdoms.
I love this because I remember you were like, I don't see why anybody would send anybody home. And now you're like, everybody's at home.
Well, yeah.
I like it. I like this, like how your mind changed.
Well, it's
You saw
changed
the light.
in some ways. We were talking about, how at first I sent. So the first week I talked about how I'd sent everybody home, and how people were discussing how during events they like to just send everyone home so that they weren't interfering with the event, and it kind of made it easy for them. So I decided to do that. There were other people that just said they did the same thing, so I wanted to kind of get an idea. So I sent everyone home who was not collecting tokens, and man, my Magic production was slow. I also had mentioned how I really felt like I wasn't playing the game. I would log in, I would be able to tap, clear all my guys, and send them all out in like 2 minutes. And when you're used to like 15 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes for how long it would take you, it didn't feel like I was even in the game very long. So then last week, I talked about how I kind of adjusted my playing, and I had brought some more characters into the kingdom. At first, I just had characters that had 2-hour and 8-hour quests. They had to have both of those available, because that's the segments I traditionally send people out in, 2-hour segments, and then at night for the 8-hour segment. And about halfway through, I was still having some problems. It just didn't feel right. So toward the end of last week, I had adjusted it to people who had the 2-hour quest in the middle. So that there was a 2-hour quest as the second quest, because you can see 3 at a time. And so I wanted them all to be in the middle so that I could fly through them quickly. I didn't want to have to say to myself, top, bottom, middle, bottom. Like it's almost like a code, like the Konami code, like up, down, left, right. To try to figure out, and know, okay, I'm hitting my Aladdin characters. I have to go on the bottom, and I have to try to squeeze my finger into that little space. It was difficult and kind of annoying. So that's how I did it. So I adjusted it to having characters who had it there, and ideally 8-hour quests also, but not necessarily a requirement. 6 was kind of okay as well. And how I like that. My Magic production was going quicker. My number of characters at home was around 70. So it was kind of in the middle. So this week, I tried bringing them all out.
Everybody back?
Everyone back. Well, except Maximus. I left him at home because, God, he's useless. But
Poor Maximus.
Poor Maximus. No, poor Maximus. So it was bad. It didn't work out for me. I can't spend the amount of time now that I have all the characters. I've completed, getting all of the characters that I've missed, and there are a lot of characters in the game. I don't even know how many I have. Probably 130, 140. Who knows? But it just takes so long, and I just don't have the time. If I'm at work, I don't have the luxury of just being able to sit for 15 minutes and do that. I'm very busy, so it's hard. So I wasn't able to do it. I did it for about 2 days and realized that it's just, with my life right now, it's not ideal. So I scaled back to where I was, where I have the 2-hour in the middle. And that for me is the best. I have about 70 people home right now. I'm actually going to check to see how many people do I have home. I have right now, it says I have 104 home right now, but that's because I sent a lot more people home because no one's collecting tokens. I had it was around 70 home because I had people collecting. I just don't have anyone collecting tokens right now because it's the end of an event. But it felt good at around 70. So that for me is going to be how it works for me. The Magic production's good. It doesn't feel slow. I feel like I'm able to gain Magic at a much faster pace. I mean, I'm up to 1.6 million again. 1.9. So I'm gaining magic at a pace that's acceptable for me. I'm not really spending magic right now. So I'll have to kind of see how that will change once I'm starting to spend magic again on leveling characters. But so that's how it's best for me. That's how I am enjoying playing the game. So my advice. Well, actually, before I get into my advice, AGeekyChick, how do you have characters home, and have you tried different ways, and what's worked for you and what hasn't?
Yeah, I'm kind of like you. It depends on what's going on in my life and how bad. Like if we're in an event and I really need, like I'm busy, but I really need to get in there and I want to just get those characters out on the quest they need to be, and or if I'm feeling the burnout, towards the end of the event, you feeling you still got to finish. So
Right.
I'll have like pretty much everybody. There's like one character set that I never send home, and that's the Winnie the Pooh characters. They never go home. They're always in my park, and I'm fine with that. I send them on 2-hour quests during the day and 8-hour quests at night. And Princess and the Frog characters will join them. Sometimes I have like there's no real reason why I have people out. Like you have like, oh, I'm gonna tap here and tap here. I'm just like, they're cute. I want to see Pooh in his bee costume. But sometimes I'll have everybody. Sometimes I'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna bring everybody out, and it's long, and it's. But I don't like. I know some people have suggested like sending people like you get more magic just by like sending them on 24-hour quests. But I don't like that because then if they're in a building or something, now I can't move that building for 24 hours.
Right. Sure.
And so that drives me crazy. So I'd rather them gone. I know I can make more magic having everyone out, but my time is a little more valuable than the magic.
Yeah. No, there are characters I like too. I think that this is an experiment for me, and I definitely think there are characters that are gonna stay out. There are certain character sets that I like, but there are certain character sets I don't really care so much for. So I think it's going to be, time of life. Like, there's going to be times when I have a lot of availability, and I'll just bring everyone home. There'll be times where I'm just swamped, and I'll just send everybody home.
Yeah.
I think it's all going to depend, also on events, what's going on. There's a lot of variables, but really what it came down to for me is the characters that I'm enjoying keeping out, and then the characters that are the quickest to kind of get out there, like my magic makers, because I'd rather pound through people, quickly, and get through, go through like 30 characters than to have them home, because there's the balance. But if I'm gonna go through 30 characters, I'd like to have that middle quest, just so that I can go boom, 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 and just do it quickly. Just kind of keep my eye on the top left corner, know who I'm hitting, and know that I'm just going to, keep going. Because, again, I just hate going top, then bottom, then middle, or having to scroll. Like, if someone has, like, a 60, and then another, like, 60, and then they have a joint quest. So, like, their 2-hour quest isn't even on, like, that first page, if you want to call it, of quests. Like, forget it. Like, they're automatically sent home. Snow White is one of those, for example. I could think, at the top of my head. So that's it. So my advice when it comes down to it is play what works for you. If you're a new player, you're newer to this game, don't send anybody home. It's not worth it. This is really more for people who have excessive number of characters in their parks. And I feel like as a newer player, you need every bit of magic you can get. I mean, I remember as a newer player watching the daily videos just to earn 50 magic, at a pop, just to, keep my magic production going.
Yes, especially during the event, you can earn so much magic. Yeah. So keep them out. Send them on short quests if you can.
Yeah, the shorter the quest, the better.
Yeah.
But for people that are kind of getting to that mid range, if you find that it's taking you too long when you're going in and everyone is available with, everyone's quests are done, if you find it's just taking you too long, try adjusting. try sending characters home. Do send your characters home. Obviously, keep the ones you love out, okay? You know, don't send Winnie the Pooh home if you love Winnie the Pooh. I'm not going to tell you to do that. But, you know, for the characters that you don't mind sending home, see, like, you know, make sure that they have you according to your schedule. If you're a 4-hour person, you send them out every 4 hours. If they don't have a 4-hour task, don't keep them in your park. Send them home, because it's just not going to work out with your schedule. Try to do things that kind of make things go faster for you, if that's what you kind of want to get doing. And then always, you know, check home and make sure that there aren't token collectors, because, you know, you don't want to forget about them. You don't want to level somebody up and then leave token collectors in there. But yeah, I think that's it. So I think that what it comes down to is I'll probably have half of my characters at home, half of them out in the parks. And I think that that's going to be the right amount of time for me. So that's all I got for that. AGeekyChick, any final things on There's No Place Like Home?
No, I think, like you said, just having a healthy balance. And what works for you, you know, your gameplay, your style.
Yeah. If you want to talk more about this, hit me up on Twitter or in my Facebook group. The show's Facebook group is awesome. There's lots of people going back and forth, talking, having great conversations. I'd love to talk about sending characters home. So if it's something you're interested in talking about, join the group and we can chat. You'll find me there. You'll find me there every day. AGeekyChick is in there. So yeah, check it out. All right. So now is everyone's favorite segment. Feature report. Feature report. Feature report. Feature report is a segment where we talk about ideas or features we would like to see implemented into the game. All right, so we have quite a few feature reports today. I probably won't get into all of them. Same with our questions for this week. If you don't hear your feature report or question on the show this week, stay tuned next week. We will get to your questions and feature reports when we can. All right, first one is from Andrea. Andrea said, I'd love to see an inventory feature. A list of all items that I have or own, regardless of whether they're in storage or placed in my park. I should be able to tap an item in the inventory, and it gives a pop-up to tell me how many of them I have, and it gives me an option to find it in my park for me. For example, in the concessions inventory, I could scroll to the burger stand, tap it, and see a pop-up showing that I own or have placed 2 in my park, have 2 in storage, and I could tap on the placed ones to be taken to them. Sometimes I can't remember how many I have of an item or find where I put it in my park. And this would also be great for attractions too. I read the names of an attraction and can't always remember if I have it or not. If it's gone from the purchase list, I'm stuck scrolling all over my park to find it. All right, Andrea. Well, I definitely think that some of that can be really cool. I agree with you. Like when I go to Merlin, right, and I'm ready to start ditching stuff like decorations, for example. When I'm like, okay, I've got 84 benches right now that I could go. But do I really have 84 benches, or do I really have 116 benches because Squirrely was out putting out benches? I think it would be cool to somewhere see a total list of how many you have. Like you said, like if it showed like in inventory in park, I think that would be really, really cool. Yeah, and then, I mean, again, if you could click on it and kind of like, you know, have it cycle through the ones you have in your park, that would be cool too. I think that's kind of maybe a little overboard, but still would be a cool feature to have in the game. But for now, I would just love to see a total inventory. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I was thinking the same things, like as you were saying them. Like for Merlin, it's nice to know before you throw away something, like, is this my only one, or is there one in the park? But as far as needing to cycle through and see where they are.
Right. I like to keep like 1 of each, maybe 2 of each.
Yeah.
So like if I go to the benches or like an aquatic bench or something a little more rare, right? And I have 1 left in my, you know, that could go to Merlin. Like it would be, if I knew that there were like 3 in my park, then I could be like, okay, toss this, you know, and then one, I would know that I could toss it, and two, it would make scrolling through the Merlin stuff quicker because, then you don't have stuff in inventory technically, so you could go through stuff quicker. So I do like that idea or feature about that. All right. Anything else on the inventory? All right. From Daniel. Daniel said, I would love to see a night mode in the game. Yes, night mode. I think that would be amazing. Imagine if your lamps and your street lamps actually had light in them. Wouldn't that? What a concept, right? Your hanging lanterns actually turned on. No, I would love that. I think it's an amazing idea. Before I go into a AGeekyChick, what do you think about night mode?
No, I think that's really fun. I do. I have a feature.
Well, you hold your feature. We're not done talking about this. I think night mode would be awesome. I think. Yeah, I talk whenever I talk about feature report and some of these things. I always talk about the hidden advanced features menu that you'd have for more experienced players. I think that night mode would be a really cool thing to put in there, because I think it would be better if you knew your way around the park, knew where your concessions and attractions were, because I think it could definitely get confusing to a newer player, not kind of really knowing where things are. It might be harder to kind of find things in the dark. Obviously, it wouldn't be dark, but, it would still be cool to have a night mode. I think maybe different things could happen at night. I don't even know where to begin with what they could do with different things that would happen at night. Even just like lanterns flickering on and off, or moon, something with the moon in the sky, and moonlight, or even like let's go crazy, like phases of the moon, like if it's like a full moon outside, like you have like big shadow reflections, but if not, like you have no shadows, or I don't know. But anyway, I think night mode would be awesome. All right. So the next feature is from AGeekyChick. AGeekyChick, what do you have for a feature?
Well, I wish that we could take a picture without the dashboard UI or whatever on the screen, like the picture mode. Like I always, you want to share pictures and stuff. And I used to be able to, whenever we would edit our part, it would take off all of that. But now that we've got the new menu for editing, the new park editor, all that stuff is on my screen, and I can't get good screenshots and stuff on my park.
Photo mode. Make it happen.
I really need that.
Yes. No, I agree. There's definitely, I'd love to get rid of the UI. I used to always keep the little book in the top left, the bottom left open with all my side quests and stuff to see. I try to hide it now when I'm playing because I really just want more space, to look at stuff. So it'd be really cool to be able to get rid of the UI, especially during the events. That giant thing at the bottom that shows you how much time you have left and that you're in an event. Like, I get it, but it would be nice to be able to hide it.
Just to be able to see our park.
Yeah.
And I've seen games do it, so I know it's possible. And it even sometimes it'll put a little, maybe Disney Magic Kingdoms, their little logo on it, but that doesn't bother me. If that was the screenshot or something, but
sure, yeah. All right, cool. All right, and then we'll do one more for right now. From Michael. Michael says he'd love to see a jukebox-like attraction near the parades that allows you to change the in-game music. Also, within that jukebox is all the music from previous event battles, as they can't be played again after the event is over and gone. Talk to me. Tell me what you think. AGeekyChick.
Yeah, I'm here. Yes, I never even thought about that, but yeah, we can't hear our battle music anymore, so I think that's fun. I think, like you said, making it an attraction makes it even better, or maybe just kind of how they added the little storybook there for the at-home characters. Like if it was just something, not that we had to unlock or place or buy, but just kind of already part of Main Street, a little building or thing. I think that would be so cute, and you could just change the music. That would be fun.
Yeah, no, I agree. I turned off the music a while ago. It's cool to turn off the music. So let me say this: it's cool to turn off the music if you haven't done that already, just to listen to all the stuff in the park, because there's so much stuff to listen to, from Mickey playing the trumpet to Lewis playing,
Lewis, yes.
to doing his thing, and there's a really cool quest where Lewis and Naveen are playing together. And it's amazing to listen to. All the attractions almost all the attractions have sounds to them. So turn your music off and listen to the game if you haven't done that already. But I also turn the music off because, God, how many times can you listen to the same thing over and over again? It would be nice to have an option to change your music. I know that, again, size of the game is something that they're concerned with, but it would be nice to have different options. Even make it optional, like where you could download, different things, and or at least just download all music, and just change the size of your game. I don't know, but it would be nice to have that option to have different music.
Because I was one of those people. I had my music turned off for our longest, but I like to hear the music at the welcome screens. And so, especially for like event characters. So for this event, I have had the music turned back on, but I also like when you zoom in and you kind of hear their little, whatever they've got going on, the attraction or the characters. I like that.
Yeah. I think that if you have the music turned off, the music should still play when you welcome somebody. That I found frustrating. Like you just hear like feet walking, and then like they like look at you.
So...
It's very anticlimactic. So
it is. You're like,
there's my feature. Turn the music back on when the music's off for the welcome screens.
Yeah, because it's just like awkward. Like the sound effects of when they're walking is just awkward, and you're like,
it's very awkward. It was not meant to be. Those welcome screens were not meant to be played without music. But yeah. All right. Since this is a real quick one from Lisa. Lisa said she'd like to be able to reorganize chests waiting to be opened so that you can have them all sorted. I kind of agree. I would like to be able to, like, all the ones that I have kind of down at the bottom, I'd like to be able to just kind of move them around and switch the pedestals they're on.
Yeah.
I like to, have your platinums in the front and kind of move stuff along, and, I like that idea. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good feature. Thank you, Lisa. All right. If you have a feature you'd like to see implemented, please write in using any of our various social media platforms and let us know. Your idea could be on next week's show. So we're running a little late today, so I'm actually going to hold off on this. Tom Wright, the awesome guy who does the concepts for us, has given me an awesome Disney Magic Kingdom's Dumbo permanent content update idea. I love it. I want to just have a little bit more time to be able to dedicate to it. So that is going to be exclusively coming to you next week on the show. So stick around for an awesome concept of a Dumbo permanent content. All right. Moving along, we're going to just do a few quick questions here. The first one is from Rainy Days. Rainy Days says, what do you feel the future of Disney Magic Kingdoms will be like? That's a good question. AGeekyChick, what do you think the future of Disney Magic Kingdoms will be like?
Hopefully long. Now, I think that, there's still so many more characters that they could bring, and so I think there's still so much more content in the game. It'll be interesting to see how they change things, because it's definitely not the exact same game from when we first started playing. It'll be interesting to see if events evolve, if we see something different on how we welcome characters and how they've even teased, you know what I mean? Big, major update coming sometime in the future, and I'm wondering how that will change things, but hopefully we have a long future.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to have different types of events. There's going to be different things. It goes without saying, right? Mm-hmm. I think the future of Disney Magic Kingdoms is a second park, like an Epcot, or a Animal Kingdom, or something of that nature. It's going to be another park, Hollywood Studios, formerly MGM. And yeah, I think that's just the future of it. There's going to be another park with more land, because here's where it comes down to: where are they going to put more land, right? Mm-hmm. When all the land is released that's out there, where are they going to put more land? So I think that there's going to be another park that's going to be accessible in some way, and that's what I think the future is. All right. From Nicholas. Nicholas says, do you think we'll ever have an event that is more than 5 required event storyline characters again? So my guess is he's kind of referring to something like Snow White that just had a lot of characters. So I guess the only thing I could think of would be like 101 Dalmatians. Because you could have a lot of dogs, right? Like where you have the 7 dwarfs. So for Snow White, you had 7 dwarves, and then you had Snow White, and then you had Maleficent, right? Mm-hmm. So, for 101 Dalmatians, you could have 101 dogs, right?
No.
Well, how many dogs are there? I don't want to go through. There's probably about 7 or 8 of the main dogs.
It wasn't Maleficent. It was the evil queen.
Evil queen.
I'm sorry. I was stuck on that for.
Sorry, not Maleficent. Sorry.
We welcome Maleficent.
Evil queen. It's late. It's the evil queen. Yes, Maleficent is from.
I'm sorry.
Is from a different story. Yeah.
Oh no, it's not even related. But did you see the second movie's coming?
Yes, that really looks good.
It's kind of related.
It is kind of related. The second movie's coming. Angelina Jolie. Yeah.
Yes.
I really need to watch the first one.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. Gotta get with the program. All right. Do we think that there'll be more? Maybe.
Yeah, the 5 just works, and the tower challenges make it work even better because then they can add, like how they added Christopher Robin, or I think 5 works, 6 works.
Yeah. All right. From SJ. SJ says, no question. I just want to say that Geeky is awesome and I love her videos. I'm glad she's back on the podcast.
Yay. I love you, SJ. She's so sweet.
Yes. And finally from Sahar, what do you think about having a certain place for trophies instead of putting them in the park?
I like putting mine in the park.
Yeah, I think that there could be definitely ways they could work that out to have cool trophies or stickers or other things, but I do like having something in the park to put there too.
I think if they bring back the social aspect and there's a way like a person's profile, like your friend profile, you can see that they have all these trophies, but until then, the only way we can share them is through screenshots, and that's like putting them in our park. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay, so that is it. If you did not hear your question or feature report on this week's show, hang tight. I will get to it. We are just running really short on time today, so thank you everyone who wrote in. We do appreciate it. And if you have a question or a feature report you'd like to do, hit us up on our various social media, and we'll be happy to read it when we can. All right. So let's wrap things up. Some other things that happened in the kingdom. The Radiant chests were available for 25 gems each and were limited to 1 per day. As expected, they are now available for 25 gems each and unlimited, or for $4.99 for a bundle of 6. Tiana's ears are epic also, so it is not a guarantee that you'll get the green cream soda stand. Earlier this week, the even bigger event currency bundle was available. It was 100 gems plus 5,000 event currency for $4.99 US. And now the bigger than even bigger event currency bundle is available. It's 250 gems plus 15,000 event currency for $9.99 US.
I checked. That's the one I got. Even the
bigger than even bigger.
I got yes. I got the largest. And I got the what? The bigger than even bigger. I don't know.
The bigger than even bigger event currency bundle.
That's what I got.
Yeah. Because there's 4 of them, and they just keep getting bigger and bigger. All right. So the Little Mermaid chests are available for the duration of the event for the usual price of 60 gems each, or $9.99 for a 6-pack. The cotton candy cart's available for 60 gems. The smoothie shop is available for 60 gems. And the swamp gumbo stand is available through the duration of the event for 60 gems. We did not get any new 5-star ratings or 5-star reviews this week. So please, this is where we would read them out loud. Would love to hear you. Hopefully we'll get some next week. Big shout out this week goes to Andrea Valenzuela for being this week's Spotlight contributor to the group. You've really been an awesome member of the group for a while, but this week you've really stepped it up, and just want to say thank you for doing such an awesome job and being such an awesome member of the community. AGeekyChick, shout outs.
Yes, I'm just going to run through. I had put a call out for questions and stuff, and we didn't really get to them, but the people who did, last minute gave us stuff on my community tab. Sparky, Michael B, Andrea, Aiden, Woodwaski's always, Adrian and Woodwaski are always there. Drew and Isabel. Thank you guys for...
Yeah. I'm sorry, go on. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, just thank you guys for always being there, submitting questions and just communicating with us. It's fun, like when we're as a community and talking. I appreciate all of you guys.
Yes, thank you to the YouTube community out there as well. It's really picked up a lot. Starting to get a lot more views, and it's people like you that we're writing in on, and being a part of AGeekyChick's community is really awesome. So thanks for also tuning in and checking out the show. I recognize all your names, so thank you so much. I appreciate all of you out there. Next week's show, Daniel Guizar, admin of the Disney Magic Kingdom's Champions Facebook group and Supermaster Park Builder, will be joining us on the show. If you guys are not in the Disney Magical Kingdom Champions Facebook group, go now, join it. Daniel has awesome, amazing content that he puts in there. He puts it in a lot of other groups too.
Yeah.
In the Disney Magic Kingdom game group as well. But he's amazing. His park building skills are fantastic. He always tries to squeeze almost all, if not all, of the attractions in his park. And he's always changing it around, grouping it by themes, doing different things, posting videos and screenshots for people to look at, and just putting up all content like every day. Really,
yes, major contributor to the community.
Major.
Like, I'm always pinning his posts. Like when he comes to my YouTube, he's giving advice, he's giving information. I'm always like, oh, let me pin this.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
really good show.
Ever since when I first started and I needed like advice for just general day-to-day playing, he was great with just that. And even just parks, like because you have such little space at the beginning, I was like, where do I stick all my stuff? And I would just look at like the front of his park, and I would get some ideas for how to place some things. So I can't wait to have him on the show. He's going to be an awesome guest, especially talking about. We're going to hit him up on all his suggestions for park building for all of you. That will be probably the newcomer tip of the week, as well as a lot of other talk on the show. So, all right, if you want to be more involved with the show, you can follow us on Twitter at ATK Podcast and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/ATK Podcast. Here you'll find out before anyone else about any breaking news that we hear, information on contests and giveaways, when new shows are published, and, of course, my ramblings and photos from my day-to-day playing. The show's Facebook group is up, and it's a great way to easily interact with me and other fans of the show to talk about our favorite game. The link to our group will be in the show notes, and you can also be found on the show's main Facebook page. Also, you can write into the show. Our email address is aroundthekingdompodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about the show, what's working, what's terrible, or any other topic you want to write in about. Or even if you just want to write in and say hi. We're now on YouTube. If you want to watch the show and see me and my awesome guests, or a GIF of my awesome guests, please head on over to and subscribe to the channel. Might see them. You might see a picture of them. You never know on a day-to-day basis. But the link to our channel will be in the show notes. If you want to help support the show, please head over to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and leave us a 5-star review. Doing this is quick and easy, costs you nothing, but helps us greatly to be seen by other people so they can enjoy the show also. All 5-star reviews will be read at the end of each episode. Listening to the show is all we could really ask for, but if you do want to help support us in another way, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. We're halfway towards our first goal to help the production of the show, and this would be a great way to show your support for about $1 an episode. The page was just put up and we'll be adding some cool rewards to the tiers of support, but for now you will get a special shout out at the beginning of each episode. Again, it's patreon.com/aroundthekingdom. The link will be in the show notes. Thank you again for joining us this week. I am Steve Squirrel for myself and AGeekyChick. We hope you have a great night, and we will see you around the kingdom next week.
Bye, everyone.